This week, we are talking about a new lawsuit involving a pilot hurt on a DIA walkway. Video shows the moment that Kenneth Gow's foot caught on the small hole. The moving walkway ate his shoe and sock. He suffered injuries, including bone bruises. He's now filed a lawsuit to help with his medical bills.
So the video is striking. We want to continue our conversation today with our 9 News legal analyst, Whitney Traylor. And we heard you yesterday on our 5 o'clock show talk a bit about how this goes down.
Yeah.
The question that first comes to my mind is, who do you sue? Because it looks like a clear-cut case of somebody was negligent.
Yeah, it does look like that, and it also looks like everyone's worst nightmare. I mean, this is, I don't have a fear of escalators, but this is my biggest fear, right? Riding an escalator.
People push around on those walkways. I mean, they make me nervous, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, so the liability generally, so they sued under the Premises Liability Act in Colorado, which is a statute that says the owner is liable, which in this case is DIA. They didn't name them as a defendant. And then, of course, the operator of the escalator, I forgot the name of the company, TMK or something.
TK.
TK, right? So they only sued TK, but generally you would sue, after doing your due diligence. It could be a manufacturer, it could be the owner operator, and then of course the landowner, in this case DIA.
That could still come though.
Definitely that could still come, and that happens a lot of times where as the case proceeds and you get discovery and you learn more facts, you add parties, you take parties out, and then of course the defendant may actually add parties and say, hey, we weren't at fault, it was DIA or it was the manufacturer or somebody else, so they may bring in other parties.
I thought you named everybody right up from the get-go sometimes if you were going to make a lawsuit like this.
Well, you can, but again, it comes down to the facts because, and this is in civil law, you get the discovery period. And so that's the time where you get to ask for documents, you get to interview witnesses, you get the videos. And so through that process, you might learn of other defendants. But here, certainly the defendant itself, TK, I'm surprised, or I will be surprised if they don't bring in at least DIA or some other parties so that the defendants are all then kind of pointing at each other.
How many of these actually make it to a jury or to a judge? It seems like this would be one of those cases, like many are settled. Is that normally the process?
Yeah, most cases settle, and there's a lot that goes into it. I don't know the statistics, but I know like when you go to mediation, I think 95% of the cases settle at mediation, and we're talking about civil law. And it makes sense because when you go to trial, whether it's a judge or jury, you're kind of rolling the dice. Even if you have good facts, you have good lawyers, sometimes a jury, they may not like you or they may really get focused on one issue. So that's why settlement makes so much sense. And then of course, if you're litigating for a year to 2 years, it's super expensive. So between the expense, not knowing what the result's going to be,
right? Yeah, investigative stuff.
Exactly, and then the defense, of course, they have the issues of publicity. What's the cost of defense? What's their exposure? So all these things go into it, and it really makes sense to settle most of the time because when you litigate, and I tell my clients this all the time, and I've lost one trial in 25 years, and I've had lots of clients say, hey, after winning, if I knew it was going to be this hard, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Because you can't let it go. I mean, it's constantly on your mind, and I'm sure there's viewers litigating right now saying, yes, I haven't had a good night's sleep in years.
So this is a pilot who obviously is in that's kind of his workplace on a regular basis. He's suing just to get his medical bills paid for. But in part, you also realize pilots have to have a regular medical exam.
Yes.
So that they can continue their work.
Correct. It's a very intensive process, and one of those things involves balance, and I don't know the severity of these damages or injuries, so I don't know if it impacts the balance, but that's part of what would go into the lawsuit. So when you seek damages in these kind of lawsuits, you seek for pain and suffering, the medical bills, and then any loss of wages. And here, for example, let's say he couldn't fly again. Then you'd have these financial experts saying, here's how much he would have made over the next 25 years.
Video changes everything too. I mean, you look at video that if that was a story that was being told in court, it would be one thing.
Right.
That video is pretty compelling.
It's compelling, and this is why there's a lot of fights about video coming in and whether audio and video is admissible as evidence. I think this would probably get in. And yeah, that tells a lot because When Jeremy sent me the video, I didn't watch it because I didn't know what it would look like. And then he said, no, it's not graphic. But seeing him go down like that and actually get stuck was really
and that missing piece
traumatic.
It tells a lot.
That really says a lot.
We'll certainly be following up on that story, so we'll probably call on you again. Thanks as always.
All right. Good to
9
be
News
here.
legal analyst Whitney Traylor.
Yep.